So you want to go into tech sales and you want to know how it's like, what the experience looks like. And this is coming from someone that have been in tech sales at Microsoft for 2 years plus. So it's quite easy. And first of all, the first thing you need to understand is the technology, right? You need to identify which technology am I focusing on, because every technology has a sales representative, right? Be it cloud, be it SaaS, be it generative AI, even OpenAI have sales reps, right? So first of all, you need to understand the technology that you want to sell, right? You want to sell. What technology do you want to sell? Now, in terms of my experience in tech sales, right? Having that, I was in tech sales when I was in Microsoft, when I was at Microsoft. So it's quite an interesting career. Trust me, really interesting career. And one of the biggest thing that you get as a salesperson or being in tech sales is exposure. This is one of those fields that will expose you a lot because it's customer facing. So being customer facing means, tomorrow it might take you to, take for example, if you're in Nigeria, it might take you to Abuja. Next tomorrow it takes you to Enugu. Next tomorrow it takes you to Imo State. For customer meeting, conferences, engagement, things like that. And it could also take you outside the country. Tech sales took me outside the country for the first time. My first international travel was a customer engagement, right? When I went to Angola to meet a customer stakeholder to discuss cybersecurity and security blueprint and deploying end-to-end security infrastructure within their environment. But that is by the way, back to the experience, right? So tech sales is one of those field, one of those career that will expose you a lot. You get to meet a whole lot of people. And when I'm talking about people, you are not just meeting just ordinary people, you are meeting key stakeholders. Because being in tech sales and as a sales rep or as a sales representative, as a specialist, whatever the case is, means you won't be talking to just ordinary employees, right? You won't be talking to front desk people. You'll be talking to key stakeholders, decision makers, the CEOs, the CIOs, CTOs, COOs. These are your customers. These are your clients. These are your portfolios. These are your personas. These are the kind of people that you are to be talking to, you are to be meeting all the time. So the role or the field or the career kind of expose you to people. It gets you to meet a whole lot of people, prominent people, important people in the industry. Yeah, and this takes me to the second point, which is industry exposure. Tech sales is also something that exposes you to the industry. You get to have industry take, you get to have industry understanding, you get to have also industry viewpoint when it comes to your particular solution or your solution area, as we call it back in Microsoft, right? Take for example, you are a specialist in cybersecurity or a data security, for an example. I'm using myself as an example because back when I was at Microsoft, I was a specialist for data security, especially for governance and compliance, and then once a specialist also for generative AI, that is Microsoft Copilot. So when it comes to industry exposure, when there is data security conference and in Nigeria as an example, and whoever the organizers are, whoever the bodies are, they are inviting Microsoft as an organization to come and present or to come and speak. So they will be like, okay, who is a specialist for this particular solution when it comes to data security, and who is that person? Is Rina. So they will call me to go and present. So I will kind of go and represent Microsoft in that industry event. So you get to meet industry people, you get to get industry exposure. This is also one of the good things that comes with tech sales. That is second, right? The third one is in terms of money, we all know that, if you want to make it big in any industry, you go into sales, right? Because of how some of the companies structure their commissions and their bonuses and stuff like that. So now, tech sales. So that means there is a sales aspect of it, right? It's tech mixed with sales. You have to be you have to have that tech intensity and also sales acumen to be able to succeed in the role. So these two coming together means you are going to earn a lot. So you are going to make money. So why the core salespeople are making money? So it depends on the role you are doing. So when it comes to tech sales, there are a lot of roles that qualifies as tech sales. There is technical specialist, there is solution specialist, there is cloud specialist. There is a whole lot of roles that falls under the tech sales category. So depending on the role, the structure of the bonus and the commission might be different, right? But rest assured that you'll be earning commissions and you'll also be earning bonuses. So this means you'll be making a whole lot of money. You'll be making a whole lot of money. And this is the third one. The fourth one is travel. Being in tech sales means you have opportunity to travel a lot. And again, quote unquote travel, right? But then the quote unquote means it depends on the company. If the company is a very big company, that means the opportunity is also big. Take for example, if the company is like Microsoft, is like Google, is like AWS, Oracle, and the rest, means yes, definitely you will have the opportunity to travel outside your country. For example, when I was in Microsoft, I got the opportunity to travel to Angola. I got the opportunity to travel to Kenya. I was about to even travel to South Africa, before I left the role. So you get opportunity to travel, and it also depends on the region that you cover. So for me, I was covering Africa. That was why I'm able to travel within Africa. So if you are covering outside Africa, or you are covering Africa and Europe, means you also be able to travel across Africa and also Europe. So there is also that travel exposure that the role comes with by default. It's not like all those back end roles or backdoor roles where you just sit behind the scene and do your stuff, and is roles that I call non-customer dependent roles. Right? Tech sales is customer dependent role. It's a customer dependent role. So your success is dependent on your customers, which means if your customers are signing checks for you, signing POs for you, you are good to go. So your success is dependent on your customer. But for roles that are not customer dependent, you mostly don't get a whole lot of travel experiences. So yeah, that is the fourth one. The fifth one, when it comes to the benefit of being inside tech sales or the experience that I had, so is in terms of I've talked about relationship. Yes, I've talked about relationship in terms of exposure. I've talked about travel. I've talked about the earning. So I think I should move into also things that you should be aware based on my own experience. So when I was in tech sales, one of the biggest challenge was my manager. So if your success, as much as it's dependent on your customers, is as much as it's dependent on your manager. So if we say, let's say maybe 60% dependent on your customer, then 40% dependent on your manager. Because why? For you to succeed, for you to get the visibility, the recognitions, the commission, the bonuses, and everything that comes with your performance is all dependent on your manager. So there's some manager that you have or that you get, no amount of thing that you do, no amount of output that you put out there that will please them. If your manager is someone that doesn't like you, regardless of how you are performing, how you are doing, he will find a way to do what? Bring you down. So I had a good and bad experience when it comes to managers. So that is one of the things, and it's not actually related to the role, but it's a general thing. But once it comes to the role, but the first thing is your manager. So if you are interviewing for a tech sales role, make sure you look into your manager. Go to their LinkedIn, check what the kind of things they post. Look for them on Instagram, Facebook. Try to, if you're able to see their phone number, you can call them, have like a chat or one-on-one with them to understand, how they evaluate success for the role, what the expectation of the role is, things like that. If you didn't have the opportunity to discuss those during your interview, right? So make sure you do that. But the second thing is, it comes with a whole lot of pressure. Again, let me calm down and say this, and say it very clear. It comes with a whole lot of pressure. So if you know you can't handle pressure, you have high blood pressure, you have low blood pressure, whatever it is, if you know you are somebody that cannot handle pressure, like someone being on your neck 24/7, right? If you know you are not that kind of person, please, my brother and sister, skip. That rule is not for you. Tech sales is not for you. So it comes with a whole lot of pressure. This is why I actually put in the manager one first, because because the role by default has pressure, comes with pressure. If you have a good manager, your manager will help you to balance it. But if you have a terrible manager plus pressure, shege, wire. So it comes with a whole lot of pressure. You should be aware of that. Just know that you are going to face a whole lot of pressure, because every role that has a number, that has accountability, right, always comes with pressure. So tech sales, being that you have a number to deliver, you have a target to deliver. So the organization is on your neck, the CFO is on your neck, right? The go-to-market guys is on your neck, the business eval guys is on your neck. To make sure that you guys are meeting quota, you are meeting target, you're on target for the quarter, you're on target for H1 or H2, you're on target for the year, and all that. So it comes with a whole lot of pressure. So you should learn the art of managing pressure. Learn the art of separating work and your life. That is one of the mistakes I made early on, right? Before I realized I carry my work. So his work is business. Business is business. When you go to work, you take everything, right? You taking the pressure, you taking the work, taking everything. But when you are done, when it's 6, when it's 5, dump everything at work. If you are working from home, just as you're closing your laptop, close everything. Forget about the pressure, forget about the insults, forget about the intimidation, the threats, that comes with it and all that. You definitely face all those. So you forget about them. You go, water poured on a stone. That is what I used to tell myself those days. Water poured on a stone, right? Has no effect on you. So it comes with a whole lot of pressure because you have a number to meet. I mentioned earlier that it is a customer dependent role. So which means you need to build relationship. Relationship building is really, really important. So you are building industry relationship for you to be able to succeed in this role. For you to get a next PO to sign, most of the time, highly dependent on your relationship with your customer. For your customer to even renew the current contracts they've signed with you, maybe a year ago, 5 years ago, it all depends on what the kind of relationship you've kept with them. So it's really, really important. Is one of those roles that is highly dependent on your customers. So if your customers are satisfied and you're having good relationship with them, then you'll be able to keep closing your deals and all that. So very customer dependent rule. So if you are not making connections and not making good keeping in touch with your customers, or you are not in goodwill with your customers, you are bound to fail. So it's not something that is dependent on you. Your success, right, is not dependent on you. Your success most of the time is dependent on your customers. Then again, the third thing or fourth thing now is is a role that is very, very highly collaborative, right? So this is a bad thing. If it will be a bad thing for you if you are someone that, you are someone that likes to execute in the on your own. You've been someone that you're a very good individual contributor. You do your own stuff, you deliver, you meet your targets. You are an engineer, architect, sales rep, everything in one. You are like 5 in 1 bundle, right? If you are that kind of person, it will be really, really challenging for you to, move into tech sales. You have to really unlearn that habit and learn the habit of collaboration, because depending on the tech sales role that you are doing, take for example, for me, I was doing I was a technical specialist, so I was supporting the core specialists, which are what we call the core sales guys. I was a tech sales, right? Those guys are also called, you can also call them tech sales because they are selling technology. But what differentiates me and them is that I'm not the one looking for the opportunities. I'm the one demonstrating how the technology works and the capability of the technology that the core sales guys are, showing to the customer or trying to sell to the customers, right? But then what I'm trying to say here is, most of the time, I will need those guys to pull me in an opportunity for me to have something doing. Some of the time, I will need the commercial executive to be able to give me a SKU number for a particular product that I'm presenting or demoing to a customer, or give me the costing, that one thing or the other, information or data or things that you will need to be able to do your job effectively, that is dependent on other people, other team members. This is why it's highly collaborative. And if you, in every organization, any deal, one deal that closes, if you look at the people that contributed to the deal, there are multiple people. It's not so, a single person cannot just come up and go to the customer and demo solution to the customer, do a POC with the customer. The same person does the POC, the same person does the commercial, the quoting, the same person does the exchange and contracting, the same person closes the deal and all that, and the same person issues a license and whatever it is and all that. So it's a role that is very collaborative. So if you're someone that is not collaborative and you've not been in a place where you collaborate a lot, you need to really learn the art of collaborating. I think another downside when it comes to sales is the fact that every eye will be on you. So, and this happens when you are the only one carrying that particular solution. So, for an example, in Microsoft Nigeria, right? I was the only, when I moved into tech sales, I was the only, the first sales role I did was app innovation. I actually did tech sales for like 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Right. The first role I did was app innovation on Azure cloud, right? Building native application, deploying native application on Azure, helping tech leads, CTO modernize the application and deploy more agile application on Azure, application that scales and all that. So yeah, it's really tough because every eye will be on you, and that means when things are not going well, everyone knows that he's winner is the one that is responsible. When data security number is not good, when app innovation number is not good, when you look at the dashboard and everything is red, they will know that he's winner. Everybody knows that he's winner. And then that's office gossip. Winner is not performing, winner is not meeting his numbers, winner is red, no. So that is a very, very bad downside. Except you are the solution is so big that you have multiple people doing the same job, but then segmented. Maybe let's say Nigerian market is so huge that we have 3 app innovation specialists, where maybe winner I will be covering Abuja and Lagos, another person will be covering Port Harcourt and Enugu, another person will be covering Kano and Kaduna, something like that. But if you are the only one covering carrying the entire workload, that means all eyes are on you. Leadership, most of the time, leadership will also know who you are, because when they look down into your country, into your territory, and they see that this particular product is not meeting target, is not meeting quota and all that, they already know in their head, they already know who is responsible for that. So that is what I mean by all eyes will be on you. So if you are someone that you want to do your work chill, cool, back doors, back end, behind the scene, and you don't want anybody to know you don't want anybody to flash lights on you and stuff like that, tech sales probably is not something you should consider, based on my own experience. So that is pretty much it. For me, in conclusion, there is no role that is perfect, right? If you pick any role now, you can talk about, you can see the advantage and you can also see the disadvantage. Every role has advantage and disadvantage. So is being in tech sales. But for me, I think if you want to really hack tech sales, you need to learn the act of managing pressure. If you learn the act of managing pressure and then the act of collaboration and building relationship, these three things will help you hack and break into tech sales easily. But if you are someone that you can't manage pressure, you don't know how to handle pressure, you don't know how to manage pressure, you don't know how to build relationship and collaborate, then it will be very, very difficult for you to get into sales. So yeah, to you that is interviewing for that tech sales role, or to you that is looking to move transition into tech sales or build a career around tech sales, yeah, go for it, champ, go for it, really go for it. First of all, I just hope you are really prepared, and I hope this video throw more light in terms of what you should be expecting moving into that role. Expect a whole lot of pressure, expect all eyes to be on you, expect to even if you are currently interviewing, talk about the bonus, talk about the commission structure. Some organizations are very corny. The way they structure their commission, it will be very, very difficult for you to earn anything. So make sure the commission is clear to you. You understand the structure of the commission, how you earn. You need to understand how you earn. If you sign, close, or sell 1,000 license, how much do you make from that? It should be clear to you. And then what are the sign-on bonus? What are the bonuses that you get on top of each deal that you close and all that? So those things should be very, 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 very clear to you. So yeah, and again, it's very difficult for you to move into tech sales if you don't understand the technology and you need to also be very, very passionate about the technology. So you need to understand the technology. If you want to be in tech sales for Microsoft, let's use the word Microsoft. So you then decide, are you looking at workplace? Are you looking at cloud or Azure, for an example? So if it is Azure, then you need to be very good with Azure. At least get the fundamentals. I will advise to go beyond the fundamentals, have the technology knowledge, and then start building. The first thing you can do is start attending Azure workshop, events, conferences, things like that, to start networking, understand, okay, who are the big players of Microsoft in Nigeria, which of the customers, banks, SMEs, SMCs that uses Microsoft as their cloud service provider, and things like that. All those insights will give you understanding on how the business is being run, so that you can then make a good judgment when it comes to your interview. You have things to discuss. You can discuss and use industry terms, using industry scenarios and example. But yeah, I hope this video gives you that clarity that you're looking for. See you on the next one. Ciao.